Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to Sports Today. We bring you this video segment every morning to help you catch up with things on some all important sleep, because let's face it, whilst the whole world needs sleep, there's always something or the other going on, and it can be a little bit tiring keeping track of everything that's going on in the world of sport. Worry not, related to not just the IPL but also the PSL, the Premier League, and even some interesting other sport news from the world of football and tennis. So without further ado, man right here, Imad Wasim. Now, Imad Wasim played a starring role for Islamabad United as they ended up clinching the Pakistan Super League title. But what's made waves all across social media is not so much his performance, which was great. He took a 5-wicket haul, but the fact that he was caught afterwards in the dressing room. Once his spell was done, he went back, and then the TV cameras cut across to him and he was pictured smoking a cigarette. Not even kidding. The pace bowler was seen with a cigarette in hand taking a puff, and it's caused obviously a bit of a furor and a bit of a storm on social media, because a lot of people are saying, I mean, this guy is a fast bowler, he's a professional athlete, why exactly is he smoking? Personally, not a big fan of the habit, and I wouldn't advise it to anyone even if they weren't an athlete, but it's doubly so less advisable if you are an athlete, much less one whose entire, let's say, athleticism revolves around speed, whether that be running speed, whether that be how fast you can bowl. All of that will doubtless dip down if you are a smoker. So hopefully it's a habit he can kick. Who's switching focus now, IPL news time, and there's plenty of news here. The Mumbai Indians are sweating potentially over the availability of Suryakumar Yadav for at least the first few games of the IPL. There's no indication as of now that's doesn't seem like it's going to be happening, but he is in the NCA, he's rehabbing, but right now he hasn't been given an all clear by the BCCI, and Sky remembers all clear as well as the NCA all clear for him to be available. As of now, it seems like there's a chance that Sky, who does need to clear a couple of key tests, such as being able to take part in a game simulation, stuff like that, still needs to be adjudged. He could miss at least the first couple of games for the Mumbai Indians. Right now, no indication, and even their head coach Mark Boucher indicated very, very clearly that they are waiting for the BCCI clearance when it comes to Sky. Remember, Sky has not played a competitive game since that final match against South Africa in the white ball leg. He played that game, it was the T20I, did very well, but of course ended up suffering an injury, and ever since then has been very much out of commission. So it does seem like his getting back to full fitness is something that's taking a little bit longer than MI anticipated. More IPL news now, and again MI news, and we have some more updates, let's say, on what happened. Expected to be a starter for the side, but unfortunately news suddenly broke that Behrendorff has been ruled out of the IPL and that Luke Wood of England has been signed as his replacement. Well, Behrendorff's injury is once again a classic case of an Australian player getting a freak leg injury. He was batting in the nets, and the ball happened to hit him at the one point on the ankle, which was not covered by the pads, and then what that did was it ended up breaking his ankle. And right now there's no surgery anticipated on it, but even then the healing time is expected to be about 8 weeks, which means that not only is he out of the IPL, even his World Cup chances for the T20 World Cup seem at best touch and go. And it's a blow really for Australia, because again, this is the same Jason Behrendorff who was of year cricketing awards in 2023. He was named the T20I player of the year. So Australia player of the year. More IPL news, and this time it surrounds Wanindu Hasaranga, who you'd remember was picked up for a steal price of rupees 1.5 crore by the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Well, as things stand, he will be missing the first few games of the IPL, but it's not going to be down to an injury. No, it's down to him reversing a decision that he had made a few months back. You'd remember that he had retired from Test cricket, but now he's reversed his retirement and will in fact be taking part in the Test series. he will be taking part in that, which means that as things stand, he could miss at least the first 3 games for SRH, and even the 4th one is a little bit touch and go. Not something I'm sure SRH would have been expecting to happen given he'd walked away from red ball cricket, but now his name has quietly been included. He'll not be available for the first few games of the IPL. First 3 games for sure, because the dates all clash with the test matches. The 4th test is touch and go because the last test of that series ends about a day before the 4th game, so who really knows if he'll be available. Anticipating, but let's switch focus now from the world of cricket to the world of football, and this man right here, Lionel Messi, will unfortunately be missing out on Argentina's games in the international break, which is a bit of a shame because the matches will be taking place in the United States of America. And it was done exclusively because of Messi's popularity in the States. Remember, he had signed with Inter Miami and started selling out games wherever it is he went. But the international friendlies, one of which was against Costa Rica and the other was against El Salvador, if I'm not mistaken, both will be Messi-less affairs for the Argentine side. The Argentine Football Federation have confirmed as much, and it's definitely a bit of a blow for those fans who would have been lining up to see Messi in action in the Argentina colours. More football news, and Nottingham Forest have been hit or become the latest Premier League club to be hit with a breach of the profit and sustainability rules that the Premier League have in order to ensure that their clubs are, let's say, financially solvent. Nottingham Forest were deemed to be over the limit of spending and have now been hit with a 4-point penalty, which means that they've been docked 4 points and as things stand sit in the relegation zone. Now, it is an unfortunate situation really to befell the club, but this is the same side that signed 29 players in their first season back in the Premier League, and even after that, let's say, took a little bit of time to sell key assets, including the likes of Brennan Johnson, which would have actually helped them, let's say, be compliant with the PSR rules. They waited a little longer. They chose to sell him late, but what that did was it missed the deadline for last season's PSR rulings, which means that they are now being hit with a 4-point deduction. Again, unfortunate, but they were in breach of the rules, which I say fair enough, good that they were breached. Have now put in place a law that will pretty much ensure that the British football pyramid will get an independent regulator. That has been something that's been the talk ever since the threats of a breakaway European Super League came to the fore, and a lot of English clubs. But ever since then, there has been talk that English football needs governing and that it cannot govern itself. Now, a law will be put in front of the British Parliament, which is expected to be passed with a resounding majority to ensure that they have an independent regulator who will ensure that there's no more future breakaways as there was in the case of potentially the European Super League. Last bit of news, and a good bit of news if you're an Indian tennis fan, Sumit Nagal has made a victorious start to his qualifying campaign in the Miami Open. Now, Miami is again an ATP 1000 event and will have plenty of good ranking points if he's able to make progress, but for that he needs to qualify first, and he won his first qualifier and is now only 1 win away from making it to the main draw of the Miami Masters as well. You remember that he did make it to the Indian Wells Masters, but that was only due to him being a lucky loser. He lost his final round qualification but made it through when there was an injury withdrawal. In fact, it was Rafael Nadal who pulled out of Indian Wells, and Sumit Nagal was the lucky loser who got to take his place. Unfortunately for him in the draw, he drew Milos Raonic, ended up losing out pretty easily, but we can hope he can do better at Miami. And that's it from this edition of the Morning Wrap with Sports Today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, if you enjoy our work, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTech app, and if you're already on the channel, go right ahead, check out some other videos we've uploaded, and stay tuned, we've got plenty more coming your way. For now though, from my side, it is goodbye.